Greetings, hello to everyone out there in YouTube land. My name is Belle. I wanted to do a YouTube video today that's a little different than yesterday's videos. Yesterday I was a little bit focusing on specific ideas to communicate about mystic philosophy in different ways. Today I want to shake it up a little bit. Today I'm thinking about life as a celebration. And I wrote down some of my thoughts on this topic. Basically, I'm realizing that a lot of times when I'm thinking about different things, my thinking is different layers of different types of worries and fears, and that's no fun. So I was meditating earlier, and I was just trying to release some of those layers of worries and fears. I think it's going to take a while. Over a period of time or something like that. But some of the main worries and fears that people have, at least in my experience, the biggest fear and worry is the fear of death, which we don't really usually have that much control over. So, I don't know, I have different ideas about death as a transition or whatever based on things I've read about people's near-death experiences, but we don't really know for sure. So there's not really a point in worrying about it as long as we stay safe in the ways that we know we need to anyway. Beyond that, there's not much we can do, so there's no need to dwell on it. And the other common worry I have is all these different things adding up to somehow needing to prove myself, which is kind of silly. I really like the spiritual idea that we have an inherent sense of worth. That's one of the only spiritual ideas that I can kind of get on board with all the way, I think. So if I can let go of my fear of death, I can let go of all these worries about needing to prove myself in different ways, then I'm in good shape and I can just move on to life as a celebration. And I'm at the point where I'm really ready for that. I'm really ready to move on to life as pure celebration. I even have this wild idea that life is supposed to be fun and enjoyable. I know, it's weird, but I really think the purpose of life is to have fun. And when I say have fun, I mean really healthy, silly and common ways, just goofing off or I have some different ideas that I wrote down about life as a celebration. But the most healthy thing you can do, in my mind, to celebrate life is to dance. I really like the idea of ecstatic dance. I partake in ecstatic dance as much as possible. I have to be in the right mood, but I just put on my iPod and I pick a secluded area of the house and I dance my heart out. And it's really cool. You can kind of see how relaxed you are and how flexible you are as a person, because a lot of times we're really stiff, we're really uptight, maybe, I don't know, that's a general idea, but if you can bring yourself to ecstatic dance in private, then you realize that life is a little bit goofier and a little bit more fun than you may have expected. And I don't really like dancing in public because I think, especially for women, there's a lot of ideas about showing off in different ways, and that's not what ecstatic dance is about to me. It's not about being provocative in different ways. Ecstatic dance is private, and ecstatic dance is about just this overflowing of joy. So that's one of the main ways to have life as a celebration, is to add a little ecstatic dance into your life. Let's see what else I wrote down here. So I already went over letting go of these worries and fears as much as possible, even in meditation or just during the day. I was also thinking about being peaceful and loving and compassionate and getting comfortable in the here and now moments. And this is something that's said a lot. I think a lot of different spiritual speakers will talk about this. But if you can come to terms with it in your own way, I think it's easier to incorporate into your life. I think you kind of have to get to the point where anything else is too uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Like, I'm getting to the point where it's too uncomfortable to not live peacefully, to not live with love and compassion. And I can't necessarily intellectually have love and compassion for everyone, but I can still have a shining, radiating idea, just like this outpouring of love and compassion as a sense of peacefulness and being in the moment. And I'm working on it. I'm probably not going to be one of these people who has like they say, like different people say ascended masters will have an aura of peacefulness and love that will radiate like 20, 50 miles. I'm not at that point yet. Don't worry. I'm not going to bother you with my love and compassion at this point. But and that's another way. I mean, we don't need to compare ourselves. I'm just offering that as a silly example. But anyway, let's get back to the main point. The point is, I'm getting to the point where it's too uncomfortable not to live peacefully. And it was mainly my own sense of things, like, I felt like I had to be really competitive and I had to prove myself in different ways. And it's just, I'm getting to the point where it's just not worth it. I'd rather be happy in this moment in a goofy way that no one else recognizes as important or whatever. And that's more important to me, to be peaceful and goofy and silly and having fun in a really basic way than putting myself on a pedestal in some way and expecting other people to recognize something that I have no idea, what's going on with other people. So it doesn't even make sense. These are the tricks that your mind plays on you. I don't know. It's just it goes back to that worry of having to prove yourself, I think. Okay. So, along the lines of living peacefully and living with compassion, trying to shine with compassion and peacefulness, I really want to get comfortable in the moment. I want to get comfortable in the moment, have a clear mind, and see what fun things unfold, see what fun things happen. As I already mentioned, life is fun and enjoyment, and so that goes against the Buddhist idea that a lot of life is suffering. Like, I personally think suffering is created by humans. So I think we have a great capacity to create either suffering or fun and peace. So if each person is able to create as much compassion and peacefulness as possible, that's all you can do. Because you can't control what everyone else is doing. It's taken me a long time to come to peace with that. Because I think when I was younger, I was more of a controlling person. I was more looking around and being like, okay, what do I need to fix out in the world? And it doesn't work very well. You can try, but it doesn't really work. So I'm really into getting comfortable and peaceful, having fun, goofing off. Ever since I've been married to my husband Joey, he has turned me into a total goofball. He and I just joke around a lot, have a lot of fun. We're really silly and tell dumb jokes and stuff like that that we would probably be too embarrassed to tell in front of other people. And it's really fun. And it just goes along with not taking yourself too seriously, I guess. So I think I've already touched on this idea, but, mystic philosophy is my way of, like, giving my intellectual mind something to chew on. And sometimes you get to a point where you're like, it just doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if, like, different pagan philosophies are correct or different... there's, like, non-dual, I think, philosophies, and then there's, like, different ideas about consciousness, and there's different ideas about, like, astral travel and lucid dreaming, and people have different experiences that kind of cover, like, a huge area. So I really still like studying it, and I think I will continue to. But at a certain point, if you can't enjoy the moment and you can't have fun, you can't goof off in healthy ways, it doesn't really matter how much your intellectual mind is like chewing on these different intricate philosophies. And I don't think it's really getting us anywhere. I don't think there's anywhere to go. I think that's an idea. I want to say Ram Dass has that idea about being here and now, and like, where do you want to go? Where is better to go than here? It's that cliche, like, wherever you go, there you are. And it's true in a way. Like, if you can't have peacefulness like right now with who you are right now and where you are right now and what your attitude is, like, when are you going to have peacefulness other than right now? I don't know. So I might as well start from where I am. That's part of the thinking with that. Okay, so that covers that list. Let me move on to this other list of life as a celebration. Okay, so we've kind of already covered this, but a sense of playfulness, like being goofy, having that sense of playfulness that's kind of tied to discovery of new ideas or just discovery of enjoyments and just having fun. All of these things I've been talking about add up to being at ease and having a really hearty sense of well-being. I already talked about ecstatic dance, but maybe I'll talk about it some more. I feel like with ecstatic dance, even when it's in private, you cannot gloss over how self-conscious you are. Like, all of your petty or superficial ideas about, like, well, I shouldn't move like that because I look like an idiot or I look goofy. You kind of like, you realize that you're kind of frozen in certain stances maybe, and then you kind of like free yourself up, and it's just really fun. And I just really recommend dancing in private, because then you can just really unleash all your goofiness, all your silliness, pick exactly the music you want, and have that really ecstatic freestyle sense of self-expression. And it's amazing. Okay, if you can ecstatic dance, it puts everything else you've been worried about into perspective, I think. And it makes it seem really silly. I don't know, like, maybe no one else agrees with me, because I know everyone else has super serious things that they do, but I would question whether you're doing enough ecstatic dancing. Not as a chore, obviously, but just as, like, literally having fun with life. I wrote down, under life as a celebration, I wrote down joy and bliss. Okay, that's really important. To me, sometimes if I'm in the right mood, I can give myself something intellectual to mull over, some mystic philosophy to mull over, and I can be blissed out in kind of an ecstatic state, and then when I'm done, I'll come down from that and ground myself. So that's one of the ways that I experience bliss. But on the other hand, if I don't have the right mood or the right attitude for it, it would get super serious and it wouldn't be enjoyable anymore. So you have to go with how you're feeling, I think. I also wrote down that part of life as a celebration is getting in touch with your inner rebel. I wrote down letting go of internalized censorship, letting go of trying to please others. It's impossible to please others. Like, you can be compassionate towards them, but you can't make them, like, happy in a superficial way. So you have to be an inner rebel in a really healthy, cool way. And then this is interesting. So I wrote these lists of life as a celebration at different times. I wrote down sense of self-compassion that can send waves and vibes outward eventually. So maybe it's like you work on your sense of compassion for yourself and you can radiate that later at the right time. It's not something to put on a list of worries. I don't think. I think it's something to just have fun with, maybe have that playfulness attitude towards it. And that is about 14 minutes or more. I think I've covered a lot of this. Yeah, peacefulness. I wrote down peacefulness is free in every moment. And that's really cool. And I hope that you find ways to celebrate life, to treat your own life as a sense of celebration. I hope that you try ecstatic dance or whatever else helps you be silly and goofy and free to open up to self-expression. For some people, it could be like making a weird art piece or something like that. Like sometimes just allowing yourself to get some art supplies and take away your inner censorship, just draw something weird is like really fun also. Okay, so I'm going to get back to living my life as a celebration. I'm going to try to exude peacefulness in my own way and self-compassion, and maybe some of that compassion will begin to shine in different directions. Okay. I'm glad that these videos are staying, just staying kind of creative, and, it's a lot about what's happening in my daily life. Like, I have little epiphanies, and then I try to work them into, like, a topic to talk about for the video. So, yeah, if you have any comments, feel free to leave them. Feel free to contact me if you would like to discuss how your life is a celebration. Yeah. I hope that you got some good ideas. I hope that your life is really fun and enjoyable. And I will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.